Man. All right, so we're actually on. I'm gonna be unprofessional here because he just said it when we were walking in. Can you tell me your name again?
Yeah, of course. My name is Robin.
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 All right, like Batman and Robin.
Yeah, well, I prefer to be in the same phrase as Robin Hood.
Oh, there you go.
Stealing from the rich, you know. I kind of like that idea, but
that's a good idea. Yeah, perfect. All right, Robin, you are the doer, maker, creator, starter of Pinside.
Yep. Yeah, that's my life project. It seems to be so.
Well, it's an information plethora for everybody. I think on the planet you have users from everywhere, right? Or
yeah. I mean, it's like 95% is United States, Canada, I think.
Okay.
And then,
but wouldn't you say 95% of the business is USA and Canada?
99%, probably.
Pinball, yeah. Okay. The only other place is the Netherlands, or
well, no, I mean, we do get visitors from Europe and Australia, but I mean, that's like the small numbers.
Okay.
Compared to the US.
But is it just a bigger market in the US, or
I don't know. It's just, yeah. I mean, it's people have a lot of space there.
Yeah,
I guess
that's true. You know, I'm from Alabama, and one of the things that I had a hard time dealing with when I moved to Europe was the lack of space.
Yeah, we're all so close together here, huh?
Yeah, for
and
sure.
no basements. So
no, that's true. Okay, but so when did you get started? I mean, have you always been into pinball?
Well, it started for me in '97. The collecting.
Okay.
And I've been playing since I was really small. We used to go out to campsites, and my dad would take me to the pinball machines at night, you know, and just play together. And so I've always had a thing for the lights and the sounds, and then when it was 1997, I got a friend who gave me a game to loan.
Okay.
And then I found out, you can actually own these things. You can operate them yourself, and you can even buy them on marketplaces. And back then they were crazy cheap too. So
now they're getting crazy expensive.
Yeah, I mean, they're too expensive now. But
yeah. When did that start? Because I'm new to the whole thing. I was the same way. I went and played with my uncle and my dad or whatever when I was a kid in the States. There was always a pinball machine somewhere in the bowling alley, but I never really considered it to be something like you would do privately. It was always operators, and it was always standing somewhere you had to put money in it. And then when I saw that for the first time, I was like, oh, this is cool. But that was maybe 5 years ago, and the wife of a friend of mine bought it for his birthday, and it was 1,700 euros. It was the Star Trek Next Generation. Bought it in the Netherlands. Yeah. And even then, she was like, I don't know, Scott, can you go look at it? I was like, I don't know what I'm looking at. It's there. That's what I told her. It's like the guys, it's there, and they feel like they're nice guys. So I think they're not going to steal your money. And that's when we bought it. And then just a year ago or 8 months ago, we looked at what it's worth because he wanted to put some money in it. And I was like, holy shit, that's weird. I've never seen
I think
like
5
that.
years ago, they were already going up pretty high.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to buy the games for, and this was back when I was like a student. So I was paying maybe 1,000 guilders.
Okay,
to start.
Like 500 euros, maybe less.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I paid for my Twilight Zone. I still own that game.
You paid 1,000 guilders for your Twilight Zone?
900 guilders.
Nice.
So that's like 400 euros. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. How many pinball machines do you have?
We operate a little game room in close to Amsterdam.
Okay.
And there's 40 games there.
Okay, so that's basically your collection.
And it's not just mine; it's also some friends and.
Okay, and anybody can visit that.
Yeah, we're open once every 2 weeks.
And that's what side of Amsterdam?
Well, it's a bit north. It's a place called Alkmaar.
Okay.
We have a cheese market. And,
Alkmaar, yeah, no,
you know it?
Yeah, I know it. I go there on vacation. So we go to a place called Castricum.
That's really close.
And then we go to Alkmaar when we want to go to the big city, but we don't want to get shot.
Exactly.
Amsterdam's not a get shot place, but I don't like to go into it with the kids and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, Alkmaar is like a small version of Haarlem, and Haarlem is a small version of Amsterdam.
Yeah, and I know people and places and all those, so that's awesome. That's cool. And well, I'll come visit you next
absolutely.
time.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit about Pinside, if you don't mind. When did it start? When did you? What can you explain to me? Like what? Because it probably wasn't what it is today when you first started it, what you were thinking? Like, what were you thinking when you started it?
Well, I was studying multimedia design, so I wanted to do something, to build something.
Yeah.
And I also had an interest in databases and stuff like that. So we built a little Access database, and we put all the games that we could find.
Yeah.
We OCR'd the pages from a pinball book.
What do you mean OCR?
Like you scan them, and then the computer will translate it to text.
Oh, really?
Really.
And
that was the start of the database.
You were just scanning in books? Okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
Well, the pinball book by Marco Rossignoli.
Oh, the actual pinball book.
It's a really cool book, and
yeah.
in the back there's a whole lot of white pages with listing pinball games. So I thought I should put that in a database.
When was that? That was in 1997.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
98.
Cool.
And then we built a little front end for it. It was called the Solid State Pinball Database. And
that must have gotten traction immediately back in those days.
We only had, actually we could only have like 10 visitors at a time because it was an Access database. So
it wasn't even built for like visitors.
No, it was just built for myself to learn, and then we thought, hey, we should make an actual pinball site, right? Mm. So we did it again. We translated it to MySQL, which is like a bit more scalable, and then we started building a site. That was around 2001, I think. Mm-hmm. In 2001 November, we opened Pinside, and we bought the domain name, and we started receiving the first visitors. So
okay, and so and that was a couple years after William just closed the door on pinball. So
yeah.
So you were like, you were getting on when everybody was getting off.
Yeah, that was a bad timing. Yeah, well, I mean, the site had not so many visitors. I would post photos from Dutch Pinball Opens and stuff like that. I never visited America or anything. It was just us having fun. And
when did you realize you were actually getting traffic? Was it something you did on purpose, or did you just like wake up one day and was like, well, shit, there's 10,000 people on the site?
Well, my brother convinced me that we needed a forum.
Okay.
I didn't want it because I know forums are...
That sounds like work.
They always turn to hell, right?
Yeah.
When they get bigger, and then, it's unmanageable.
Yeah, for sure.
So I didn't want to do it, but he convinced me one day.
Okay.
So then we added a forum. That's when it really took off. So,
okay.
If I could show you the graph for the visitors, you would see it spike upward
from the forum day.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's probably what they were looking for, and that's what it's known for today. I mean, that's what, like, literally, me and my buddy in the last 6 months, and my friend more than me because I just don't like details. Like, the forums are too much detail for me. That's where you go if you want to get answers to questions, and I'm more philosophical than that. But my buddy's like digging into it big time, and we actually posted on there, which I thought was cool. He wants to buy the alien. Actually, I just told here Stefan will take it, but basically, and he just put on Pinside like, hey, is there anybody who's got the alien? I really want to play it before I buy it. And it was like 6 people.
Yeah,
come here. It's like, and so we went to go visit this guy close to Cologne, and he was amazing. He just like, you want a beer? Sure, all right. And we just hung out in his garage and played the alien for an hour or two.
That's amazing, right? And that's what I found out when I went to the States for the first time. So I visited there to the, what's it called? The Pinball Expo, right?
Yeah.
The big one. Back in 2012, 13, 14.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And I found out that there's all these people who meet through Pinside, and they all form little clubs. And
you didn't know that? That's
no,
cool,
I didn't really know
man.
that. No.
Yeah, that's Robin Hood shit. That's
so that was So that was really cool to be invited there, and I they said, this is all through Pinside, and I was so proud when I heard that.
Yeah, you can be, man. That's awesome.
Because that takes it like from the online world to the offline world, and
sure.
That's really cool.
That makes the work that a forum costs a little easier to bear.
Yeah. I have a good team of moderators as well.
Yeah, I bet.
So
how does that? I've never really understood how that worked with forums. So when a forum gets bigger, are they actual users that are moderating it?
Yeah. So you ask a couple of people that you think are sensible. Because it's important when you're a moderator that you can understand the difference between opinion, and when it's
or joke and mean.
Yeah, and sometimes something is cool, and sometimes it's against the rules. So it's hard to, it's a hard job.
Well, that's what I was always thinking. Like, I was always thinking it's a hard job, and it seems like it's always a volunteer job, right? And it just seems like one of those volunteer jobs that has very little of an upside other than the network that you have. And they're usually people that are very passionate about what it is that they're talking about. And another thing, are there shitstorms on Pinside? I mean, is just like all-out fights between people or anything like that? Has it ever happened?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
yeah.
Oftentimes we jump in there and try to.
I feel like the pinball group, like the pinball world that I've come across since, and I've definitely met people that don't talk to each other, and I've definitely talked to people that don't necessarily like each other, but everybody's super civil. I've been into different like hobby groups.
Well, that's
and
the interesting thing, right? I mean, when you look online, everyone is so nasty and mean, and then you see them in real life, and you're like, what? Why are you acting like that online? And it's
because I can.
Yeah, exactly. And they had a few beers,
and
that often happens. We often get apologies the day after. They say, "Yeah, sorry, I was acting like that. I was having some beers, and
I was drunk.
My boss was mean to me, whatever."
Do you do like I don't know, like meetups with like virtual meetups where people actually have cameras and stuff like that on?
Well, I'm not a big fan of cameras. I mean, I like to meet people in real face to face, or so usually when there's cameras involved, I usually
You're
say,
out.
I usually don't participate.
Yeah, I was just thinking like a meetup where everybody can see each other would also kind of eliminate the. But I didn't even want to go down that path. I think the community is an amazing one, and the answers to all the questions and everything that you can find there. What's the next steps? What are your plans?
I don't know.
But I mean, you're gonna continue on building your business and
yeah.
doing what
Well,
you do.
there's a lot of plans, but the hard thing is to find something that people are actually looking for.
Yeah.
You can launch all the stuff and build all the stuff, but eventually, it's maybe I have to ask the community what they want. I've thought about making the community smaller again, and that sounds kind of weird, of course, because you want to grow, obviously, but making it smaller in the sense of allowing people to have their own little piece of Pinside, where they can invite their own friends and leave out the people they don't like, and maybe like a groups, like Facebook groups or thing like that.
Yeah, that's an amazing idea. And if you go at it from like a careful perspective, you can actually handpick the people who are like your moderators, for example. You'd be like, okay, if you've moderated Pinside for a year, you're qualified to start a group or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
That would be cool.
Or if you sent me a lot of money. No, I'm kidding. But
but I mean, some coming up with a mechanism that it doesn't get out of hand, but people actually can find their little place in the world, because you got a lot of competing opinions about things right now, and there's some people that are really into the new stuff, and there's some people that are really not into the new stuff. So separating them out. Let's.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it looks like the whole world is getting, like the whole. Political thing that's happening in the US right now. We can see that on the forums every day. People are so they're in their camps. We used to be 10 years ago. It used to be more friendly, I think, and now there seems to be this separation.
Well, that's one of the reasons that I'm totally on board with Gerard. Gerard is he's the dude. He's like for me, I see him. I think this place can be the, like a neutral zone for all that stuff, if possible. I don't know if that's possible, but I was in the States in October, so just 4 weeks ago, and the camps, they're being built, and and I can imagine it being.
It must be hard to see as an American, I guess.
It's kind of hard to see, but it's also hard to see how Europe is chasing them as fast as they can.
Oh yeah.
So
we're doing the same thing here, right?
It's like I'm in this slow motion matrix thing where everything's coming at me, and I know it's coming, so I'm ducking and moving.
Yeah.
But no, it's just. I think once we take it offline, and I really hope that we can do some things like these podcasts and the museum and stuff like that, and bring a more positive thing into all of it. But I think in general, this whole community is a bunch of positive people, so I'm looking forward to it.
It is, and it's a really fun hobby. It's a cool hobby. I don't see any reason to be hostile against each other, but often people get bored. They post things, and then, it's often the most problems are in the non-pinball threads, right?
Yeah.
So that's where we get all the moderation going.
So 90%. That's one of the things that you. One of the things I do anywhere I go, like business development kind of thing, is fire the customers that are causing 90% of the problems. And I see exactly what you're talking about with make it smaller, but. Well, keep doing what you're doing. It's amazing for pinball, and I think you guys are definitely like there's a top list. Everybody's looking at each other in the eyes of who's kept pinball alive for the last 10 or 15 years, and you guys are at the top of that list. So thank you for doing what you do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really happy to be a part of that, to see how people are repairing their own games now,
right.
And because it used to be a bit scary, right? You buy a pinball game and you're like, how can I maintain this thing?
Yeah.
How does it work? And when you see that there's this place where you can find all the info and all the help and I think it's super to be a part of that.
Yeah, and if I can find it on there. Anybody can find it on there because I'm horrible with that. But there's so many people. It's unbelievable. Like 6 people, like I said, with the Alien. I can't imagine what would happen if I said I want to play Godzilla.
Yeah.
But you could make a vacation of it. That's actually probably something that we should promote. It's just like if you've never been to Europe or if you've never been to the States, just go on Pinside and say I'm traveling.
Yeah.
You'll get the best food like suggestions wherever it is that you go. You'll always have a place to play and usually have a place to stay. So
absolutely.
Send us an email if you made that happen.
I think it would be a cool addition to the site, actually.
Yeah.
To have some kind of welcome mat icon after your name.
Yeah. And you can say, oh, you could come here. You can like
indicating like, hey, I'm open to receive people, or maybe not to. I mean, in Holland we don't have a lot of spare bedrooms. I think.
But you could say just hang out. Like there's enough people on business trips all over the world.
I get a lot of Americans visiting.
Yeah.
I always pick them up from the station, and
you don't have anything on your site where the user can say, look, I'd be open to hanging out?
Not really, no.
Nice.
That would be
cool. This is what you need to do. You just fill out a questionnaire, and then you got to pick your top 3 movies and your top 3 bands that you like to listen to, and if you can match up to like 70%, then we'll open it up and you can contact that guy.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Nice. If you do it,
let's do it.
Let's do a podcast about it.
I think someone wanted to go to the toilet.
No, they're just they think this is like the spare toilet, but we're good.
I'm getting a bit of cold.
We're done. We're good. We're
cold
good.
back. How do you call that? Cold ass.
Yeah.
Because it's not heated, right? This toilet.
The toilet's not heated. But it was really good to have you here, Robin. And I hope we can do that again sometime.
Absolutely.
You guys are awesome.
When are you visiting Alkmaar?
It'll be the summer. I'll
show you the website.
Yeah, cool.
We've got a website, pinballsq.nl.
All right.
.nl.
Pinballsq.nl.
Yep, that's our game room. And every 2 weeks we're open.
All right.
For the public.
Nice.
So that's
I'll
really
come
cool.
visit.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, man. Talk to you later.
Yes.
Bye.
Thanks.